Hey, buds. Welcome to the Fantasy Buds podcast. It's your host, Brian Gold.
Mark Letrio.
And I'm Tim Stewart.
And if you want to follow us on social media, you can go to the link tree in the description below and follow us on Threads, TikTok, and Instagram. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the show. I love our new intro. That's nice. Well, welcome back to the Fantasy Buzz podcast. It is Monday morning after the first NFL Sunday of week one.
Is everything okay?
Jesus
There
Christ.
it is. Yeah.
Jesus
We have a soundboard now.
fucking Christ.
Upgrade. Jesus Christ, though.
What a weird Sunday.
Very weird Sunday. This is a problem. I feel like we forget about this every year. Defense wins early on. There's a lot of ugly, sloppy football at the start of the season,
Low
especially the first
scores.
month.
And look at some of these like fantasy scores and then our league. Like,
Yeah, so we're in a 12-team league, and this is before Monday Night Football, but only 2 out of 12 teams have hit over 100.
which is pretty bad.
That's very bad.
It's very bad. Like, yeah, I mean, maybe like 7 teams breaking 100 or 8 out of 12.
At least half, but 2? And they were the same matchup, which I'm sure both of them are very annoyed.
It's always how it is.
It's like dog shit everywhere else, and then just a barn burner.
Like you have Tyreek Hill in your team, but then
I was just gonna say.
but then you played against Tua, so it
Yep.
didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
So it
That Dolphins-Chargers game was fucking nuts.
well, look, we knew that game would be a fantasy gold mine.
We were talking about that in the previous episode, but holy fucking hell. Tyreek Hill.
Fuck.
And
And like that's just all I can say about it. Like, and why did we even doubt this guy? Like ever?
yeah, we doubted him last year
For some weird
because of Tua.
reason, but I mean, Tua's fine. Obviously,
perfectly
like Tua's
fine.
totally fine.
All you have to do is get the ball to him, and he's gonna fucking do what he does.
I mean,
Justin Jefferson did what he normally does. There's just some players where it was like, yeah, never a doubt. Christian McCaffrey, 37 points.
oh yeah, I mean, like,
Austin Eckler's 30 points.
Water's wet. These guys do what they do.
Is it wet?
Actually, I think technically it's not wet,
Technically, it's not.
but when you touch the water
You're wet.
and you pull your body part out that touched it, then it becomes wet from the
Which
water.
is fucking stupid.
That is fucking stupid.
But whatever.
You know what else was stupid? The Rams backfield.
Oh, man.
What the
Kyron
fuck was
Williams.
that? And you know, my fault for drafting Cam Akers.
Yeah, that's
like this
pretty
is,
bold of you to draft him as your one.
Because like this is something that this year I did a lot of things, and especially in the TJ league that I don't normally do. And I mean, like, what the fuck was I drafting? I mean, like Deontay Johnson too. I mean, like hurt already. Like I mean, like we should have known.
J.K. Dobbins done.
J.K. Dobbins already done. Like, and we talked about this a little bit in the last episode too. Like Raheem Mostert, we don't like to predict injuries, but when it's year after year and it's almost a trend, like it is for now, unfortunately, J.K. Dobbins and Deontay Johnson. Like,
I mean, we were staying away from those guys for the most part. And you only got them because they just became such a big value.
yeah,
But now they're hurt, and
where's the value if they're not playing? And
yeah, there's no value there.
for a little bit, like for the longest time, everybody was like, I can't draft Keenan Allen because he's injury prone. I can't draft Keenan, and it's not good to dodge players due to them being injury prone. I understand that. Like we've seen it with Christian McCaffrey, you know, we've seen it with some other guys, but I just don't know anymore with some of these guys. Like especially
J.K. Dobbins is done.
J.K. Dobbins is done.
He's fucking done.
And like, even Deontay Johnson now, like how many injuries is this? No, and like this is it's almost a yearly occurrence, and it's a shame because this guy is a good player.
He's a great route runner.
And
he won me a championship a couple of years ago.
I mean, it's a shame guy gets open. He was very disappointing last year, but 0 touchdowns. Like you got to expect that to get better, but if he doesn't play, then what's
the fucking point? And then Brandon Ayuk, that was a surprise.
Oh,
I was not expecting Brandon Ayuk to be like my highest scorer.
To do that, I mean, if he's gonna do that,
like holy fuck,
this guy's
gonna be a steal.
He's gonna win leagues, a lot of leagues.
Well, if Josh Allen and Travis Kelce can stay healthy and Brandon Ayuk does what he does, and the Bengals offense fucking gets it back together, then my free agency team will be on the up.
Pretty solid.
Some of these matchups, though, so I'm playing Brandon in the TJ League here. It's tied 93-93. He's done for the day. And I still have James Cook and Greg Zuerlein playing later.
If you don't win, you should.
I mean, like, I don't know what else.
Kill yourself.
Not really. I mean, I feel like it would just be so bizarre that I can't be mad.
Yeah, like you don't get even 1 point from 2 players.
I had to get negatives pretty much from 2 players to lose at this point. But if I get 2 donuts and just tie, I would just be like, it's so hard to be mad at something like that because it's like, what do you want me to fucking do? Like, what can you do about that?
There were a lot of there were a couple weird donuts, like T. Higgins.
8 targets, 0 catches.
Donut,
holy fucking shit.
I do want to touch on that game briefly because, I mean, like Cincinnati, I mean, they had this problem last year also where they started off sluggish. But, I mean, damn. They were really bad. Like
it seems like they do this every year. Joe Burrow gets hurt in the preseason.
Joe Burrow got pulled.
They have a horrible week 1, and then they'll just be fine the rest of the year.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Like my grandpa drafted Jamar Chase this year, and I was talking to him, and he's like, I should have drafted Christian McCaffrey. I shouldn't have drafted Jamar. I was like, it's 1 week, but like he'll be fine. Jamar Chase will be fine. Like I already saw people saying, like Tim. I wish Tim was here today. Tim, unfortunately, we lost him again.
Yeah, his car just caught fire.
Yeah, like it actually blew up. Like you'll see it on the news later. Like it's on fire.
It's also a lie.
Yeah.
But how about the fucking Atlanta backfield?
I mean, we were
talking about,
but also right.
Yeah, like so Bijan's good. He's a football player.
No doubt about that.
No doubt about that.
The guy's got it.
He's got it. However, we were right about the fact that Tyler Algier wasn't just going to go away. 15 carries for 75 yards and a lot of goal line work.
I want to say he had 2 touchdowns in that game.
2 touchdowns. And it's week 1. I'm here to say who fucking cares, kind of. Because week 1...
You never know.
Everybody takes a fucking victory lap on week 1. And then you still got 13 more weeks of the fantasy season for it to pan out.
So I was going to touch on Tim and Nick's little argument yesterday.
Yeah, about Tyreek Hill versus Jamar Chase.
This season. And Tim was kind of like taking a victory lap.
For
about it. But
Tyreek Hill. But
Tyreek's great.
Obviously, next week, Jamar Chase could have 200 yards and Tyreek has 50.
Jamar Chase could do the same thing. And
he has the ability to do it. He's done it before.
I was about to say he's done it before.
So be careful what you say, I would say, as some advice.
Watch what you fucking say.
Watch what you fucking say sometimes, because, I remember being like, imagine not being 1-0 and then you lose 4 straight.
Yeah, 1-4 real quick.
Yeah, one real fucking quick.
All of a sudden, and then your season's derailed.
You're talking all this mad shit. You're taking a victory lap on players. Like I remember a couple of years ago, I'm pretty sure it was 2019, Josh Jacobs had like 30 points week 1. There was all this like hype around him.
I think he had a great week 2 also. And then after... No, it was it.
Just kind of mid the rest of the fucking... He never sniffed that again.
No, that was the year when I traded for him.
Oof.
Than our league. Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Well, no, this is the year Nick had him, and that was he was
took
taking
him
a
in the
victory
first
lap.
round.
Yeah, and he was taking a victory lap about that. That was the year that fucking Dalvin Cook fell to Dean
And
at like
he
the 10th pick.
basically was the fantasy MVP. I remember I had him in the TJ league that year.
And he was number 1.
Running back 1. Freak that year. I'm curious to see how they use him tonight, but we'll have to time travel later.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a fucking nightmare later. We're not going to talk too much about the Bills and Jets as much as we want to. It doesn't really make sense because this is going to be like old fucking news real quick, like in about 12 hours.
Unless we're going to Back to the Future it real quick.
Yeah.
Then I don't really know if it's a good idea.
But Michael Pittman showed out.
I was going to say, I really want to talk about the Colts and Jaguars. I think that was the most interesting game of the day for fantasy.
Zay Jones was a thing.
I mean, Zay Jones and Calvin Ridley.
I'll give it to you for this week.
Fantasy
be careful with the fucking
football.
victory lap.
I'm not going to take my victory lap yet, but I'm very excited with what I saw. And look, I wasn't even expecting this much week 1. I mean, I was not expecting 11 targets, 8 catches, like over 100 yards in his first game. Like, this guy did not miss a step at all. And this is basically 2 full years that he hasn't played. And I mean, Christian Kirk was basically a non-factor in this game. And I don't think that'll keep happening. But I mean, it was encouraging to see Zay Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Evan Ingram all have pretty good games.
Travis Etienne with a solid game.
And Travis Etienne. And this is showing that if you invested into the Jaguars offense heavily this year, which I think a lot of people did.
Certainly late, I think.
So far, it's looking good. And the Colts are not an easy defense to play against.
I think that team's fucking terrible, actually.
No, I mean, like, they're awful. But you ever notice sometimes they could be like a little bit of a fantasy trap game?
Always. Like I remember last year when the Chiefs played them.
Too.
And the Eagles. And it just, sometimes the Colts games just turn into fucking slugfest.
They're just ugly fucking, like.
Ugly. Just PU.
Dan Campbell, bite your kneecaps style. But, I mean, Michael Pittman is still relevant. Anthony Richardson actually had a really good game for the Colts.
He did.
And I'll admit I was wrong because I wasn't drafting this guy anywhere this season. So, I mean, I know a lot of people were high on him. Don't take your victory lap yet, but it's very encouraging to see what he did. And if you drafted Michael Pittman, you probably got a steal.
No, seriously. I was completely out on Michael Pittman.
A lot of people were. I think in TJ, what he fought in the 9th round? I think like nobody wanted.
Yeah. Joe got him really late.
Yeah. Nobody wanted Michael Pittman.
I really didn't.
I would have taken him in the 9th round, but like, this is going to be an ugly offense. The backfield was hideous.
Backfield was absolutely.
For the Colts, I don't think anybody.
Evan Hull was fucking non-factor.
Jake Funk got more carries than Evan Hull. Deion Jackson had 13 rushes for 14 yards.
And
like,
this
is not going to be a good fantasy offense. I mean, Michael Pittman, I think it'll be like a volume play. Like, I think that the football just has to go somewhere on offense. And I think he'll continue to be a good volume play the rest of the year. But the rest of that Colts offense is looking ugly.
Speaking of ugly, the fucking Vikings and Buccaneers game.
Oh, what the fuck happened?
What happened? What fucking happened? You lose to Baker Mayfield and the Bucs at home?
Week 1?
Week 1? Like, come on, dude.
Damn, man. I mean, like, Justin Jefferson, the sky's blue.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was like,
I
remember after one quarter, I was starting to like tilt a little bit. I was just like, man, why doesn't he have like 10 targets already? And then by the halftime, he had 7 for 138.
It's just what he does.
9 for 150 by the end of the game.
There were plenty of times last season, so he would have 100 yards by halftime, 7 catches by halftime. Like, this guy's ridiculous, dude. Like, if you, and this is exactly why. And like, not saying Jamar Chase will not have a great season the rest of the way, because I think he will. But I mean, this is why I just think just don't overthink it. Just take Jefferson with the first pick.
He's just the best.
It's 12 targets again.
Like, I think Tyreek Hill's explosive game is going to outweigh what Jefferson did. Obviously, because Jefferson didn't score. Like, I was saying this yesterday during the games. Jefferson had such a quiet, like 9 for 150.
Yeah, and I think
It
part of it
happened and nobody like fucking cared.
I think part of it was because they lost.
They didn't lose. Like, if he scored the game winner, then everybody's like, oh, he had this, and that.
Yeah, and I mean, like the Buccaneers, nobody was talking about the Buccaneers. I do think they'll still be not a good team, but they'll be a decent team. Like, they'll be an annoying team to play against. Like I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be awful. Like people think the Buccaneers are going to be terrible. They're going to win 4 games. I don't see that.
I think there'll be a bubble playoff team where
like 8 wins.
Yeah.
No, I think. I mean, like sure they have Baker Mayfield, but all that talent. Like, I mean, like Mike Evans and Godwin still had pretty decent days for fantasy. I mean,
Godwin
Evans, not great, but
Evans had a fucking donut at the half.
He did, but
yeah,
ended up scoring eventually, salvaging his game a little bit.
He salvaged it for sure.
And Godwin, I mean, like, not great, but still encouraging to see, even with like Baker Mayfield, like
very encouraging.
The work is still there for these guys.
But Alexander Madison, he had over 60% of the snaps. That was what I was predicting, but they just didn't get into the run game at all. Like, I feel like the Vikings game plan was very, very flawed.
Yeah, it was, we're going to try to come out and, throw all over these guys. And I mean, sometimes that works, but
sometimes it doesn't.
You can't always do that, to be honest.
I mean, Madison only gets 11 carries and he gets 4 targets, which is, it was leading the team. But I feel like if you want this offense to get going and you want to win games, you got to involve all these pieces. Jordan Addison had a nice long bomb touchdown.
He did, actually. And TJ Hawkinson had 8 catches. Also,
yeah.
I mean, 8 catches for 35 yards, sure, but
I feel like
still 8 catches.
Like, they got to get back to being like more balanced.
Yeah, because I mean, as you can see in this game, like Kirk Cousins threw 44 passes. Like
you shouldn't be.
I was gonna say, more often than not, you're not gonna win the game.
Yeah, if especially it was close the whole time.
Yeah,
like they could have easily established the run game.
Not like they were playing comeback.
Exactly.
The whole time. Like in the Eagles game, for example, like the Patriots, Mac Jones, I want to say he threw 50 passes in that game yesterday.
Yeah,
but they were playing catch up.
They were playing catch up.
And
he did show out.
I will say Mac Jones honestly showed out.
Well, when you switch Matt Patricia with literally fucking anybody else.
Anyone.
I mean, what do you get? You get more production. And then a fucking duker by the Bears.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Come on. I want to, this was another game I really wanted to talk about. Fucking. Yeah, where's the button?
Jesus Christ.
You gotta hit.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Jesus
Where the
Christ,
fuck
DJ
was
Moore.
DJ Moore?
Where the fuck was he?
Like, how are we not throwing to him? Who are we throwing to here? Bears?
Who do you fucking...
I don't even think Cole Kmet had a good game.
Oh my God. And they could have easily... There was so much gold there they could have had.
I don't
know. I invested in DJ Moore and it fucking burned me week 1.
Pretty heavily, too. I mean, I'll admit I invested...
Justin Fields, man.
I'll admit I invested in DJ Moore fairly heavily this season. So this is not good to see. Actually, Cole Kmet was their leading receiver, but 5 catches for 44 yards. Well, nobody had a great game, particularly for the Bears.
Fields only completed 24 passes. I mean, he had 64%, which is pretty good. But he only had 216 yards. He had a touchdown, a pick, and a fumble. And just not a very solid fantasy day at all. And it's because he didn't score on the ground, and he didn't really lift this team up like he was towards the end of the year last year.
And that's the thing. Like, if Fields doesn't take that next step as a passer,
then
this offense is going to burn a lot of people, including Us.
But it is week 1.
Yeah. I'm not panicking yet about the Bears.
Not panicking yet. I'd advise everybody to relax. You know what? Go and trade for fucking Justin Fields and DJ Moore. Some leagues, like some people
are probably already ready to give up.
They're already ready to give up. Like they didn't. There's some people where they didn't really believe before, and all they need is a reason.
Yeah.
And you can just take advantage.
They might have just slammed draft because, maybe he fell to them.
Somebody told him to do it.
Yeah, or somebody told him to pick him.
I guess I gotta fucking do it, right?
Yeah, that's a Tim special right there. He's like, I have. He's like, I have to take this guy now. I'm like, Tim, nobody's holding a gun to your head.
Yeah, fucking. Hold on. Brandon just said, unless James Cook fumbles 3 times and the kicker misses everything. GG, Brian.
Imagine if that actually happened. Like the same player fumbles 3 times in one game,
and then you fucking lose.
All because of that. That would probably be the kicker to where I never play again.
Probably. I mean, Mark Andrews and Josh Jacobs, they were grounds for not playing again for what they did to me.
But I do this Bears backfield was a nightmare. This game, it was
a lot of nightmares in backfields.
It was absolutely, and this is going to be a theme in fantasy. If you want to go back to our running backs don't matter episode from season 1,
we talked about this.
Talked about this last year.
Like you invest in guys like Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson, and Calvin Ridley, you're just better off.
So I mean, like in the 3rd round, are you drafting Calvin Ridley, or are you going to draft Ramondre Stevenson? There, like who are you going to draft?
About Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Yeah, I mean, like who?
Chris Olave.
Yeah, and I mean, some of these running backs aren't really becoming worth it anymore, and people overthink it. Look at
the only ones that matter right now to me are like Christian McCaffrey and Austin Eckler.
That's what I was about to say. And the top 2 running backs this week were, shocker, Christian McCaffrey and Austin Eckler. And these guys, it's just, look, week 1, not totally taking the victory lap, but these guys, we see it year after year.
Like the running back position is just...
These guys are dominating the position right now. And that's
it's just them.
That's why I still wasn't taking Bijan over those guys before the season.
Because how more annoying is Arthur Smith going to be? You know,
I don't think it's going to get. I mean, look, will Bijan's role expand throughout the year? I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I don't think they're
going to go away.
I think Patterson and Algier are going to be involved
enough to be annoying.
The whole
year.
Kyle Pitts and Drake London. That passing game is going to be fucking irrelevant.
And it was yesterday.
It was. And I really stayed away from that side of the ball. I just stayed away from that offense because I just don't believe in them.
Kyle Pitts, 2 catches. Drake London, a donut.
Like, come on. I mean, we were talking about this. Like, how good is Desmond Ridder going to be? Like, how good is the passing game going to be? Like, people that invest in Drake London and Kyle Pitts, like, all right.
But
you're going to get where you're going to get.
Have fun.
I mean, could they eventually make a surge and become an incredible passing team? Well, perhaps, but I'm not so sure anymore.
No, running the football is their identity, and they're definitely going to keep doing that throughout the rest of the season.
Well, there was definitely a lot to chew on today. Some interesting matchups, kind of a boring fantasy week, I would say, a little bit.
It really was. I mean, like there were a couple players who there were a couple guys who really did their thing. I mean, Aaron Jones was a really great player this week. And I mean, he did end up getting hurt, unfortunately, in that game. But he had a great week. One really big play. Actually, 2 really big plays he had. One was a touchdown run. It was, I want to say, like a 40-yard touchdown run. So this is why I said I feel like Aaron Jones has to be the centerpiece of that offense, and he was in that game. And Green Bay's offense, I'm gonna buy it. To be honest, I mean, like to go into Chicago week 1 and win like that, Jordan Love's first start to blow them out.
Yeah,
I honestly,
I need to see more though, because like I said, it is the Bears.
That's true, and it's only week 1.
Like everybody's got their scripts and their game plans all preseason long, and they go out firing week 1, and then it's like, all right, what are they following up with? Definitely want to keep an eye on the Packers offense because I'm very interested in that, but I got to see more. That's my saying on that, or my ruling on that. So, yeah, that is wrapping up week 1. Some winners and losers. Mark, did you win?
Tonight I need 20 points from
20
Josh
points
Allen
from Josh Allen
to win.
You're probably gonna get 18.
Yep, my team had a dog shit week.
Yeah, not mine wasn't too pretty either. But
My best player was Chris Olave, who hope you guys drafted Chris Olave, by the way.
yeah, we were saying that you should do it.
He was everything we could have hoped for week 1.
So, yeah, interesting week. I'm excited to see week 2, and I think we should cue the music, our new outro song.
Play the song.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next week.
See you next time.